Hi everyone, it's me Jo, and today I'm bringing you a brand new style video. I have been seeing so many people talk about the makeup they hate. Now I wanted to do a kind of positive spin on that and do the makeup I love. And I haven't really spoken about my all-time favourite products because I've got a video about that actually coming very shortly. But it's more the way I use products, why I use them, what I actually love on me as opposed to what I know other people love on me. And I do pay attention to what you guys like and react to the most. I know you guys always like me being blonde, you like me doing the crazy makeup, you like me being experimental. I like simple, I like little to none around my eyes, I like just my thickums brows, I like to have my hair out my face and just be slick and kind of unique to show off the face, and also just very simple. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I also talk about SocialCommer, which is a great hub of all my makeup equipment. You can find out what I use and check out the affiliate links below. I talk about it through the video and at the end. So please enjoy. So let's go in with the tutorial, and because there's things that I love today, not things that I hate because that one's coming, let me just talk about something before I even go into this video. When it comes to lighting, I actually have, which I'll show you now, I have 3 lights on. So this is 2 lights, and as you can see, they kind of don't illuminate the middle of my face, but it's more of like a real kind of experience of light, if you know what I'm saying. Sometimes, which happened in my last video, which I was so annoyed about because I didn't clock it on my laptop. Can you see this colour, right? This to me, in daylight looks like a brown. On camera, it's purple. And I had a big mishap with that bloody purple eyeshadow around my hairline, so please forgive me because that was not the look. It looks so good in real life. I was so annoyed. Now, all the products I mentioned today are going to be in the links below. This is a fabulous store that I've actually just started working with, which I mentioned at the beginning, and it gives you affiliate codes on everything that I have access to. So if you wanted to find out all the things I use in my toolkit and get some discounts, check it out in the links below, and I'll finish off by speaking about it at the end. There are so many foundations that I really love, but the one that I like the most is Studio Fix Fluid by MAC. And the reason why I like it is because it reminds me of the makeup I grew up using. And from trial and error of 15 years of wearing makeup, I have noticed that there's a lot of products that actually maintain a great look for camera or under studio lights, but then you go out into daylight and the texture is really different. I think a lot of people don't get on with Studio Fix Fluid because it has a thing called kaolin clay in, which is the clay that they use in all those oil absorbing formulas. And if you do have any impurities in your skin, it pulls them to the surface. But if you do have dry skin, it just doesn't really have that impact in it. And for me, it gives me more of a smoother looking texture. And you can use it to cover shadow. You don't need to go in with another concealer, and it has a wide range of colours, so I do like it. It's an old fave. Brush wise, I'm not even sure what this is from, but I'm going to go in with this one. So I do like to actually shear down products in areas where I don't need too much coverage, because you know, like, you don't need to use, if like I've got great skin, I don't need to cover it up, do you know what I'm saying? I just need to even the areas out, and then from them we're going to be building up the concealer and all kinds of potions and lotions. So if I'm doing a red carpet look, it's very different to if I'm doing just a traditional look for me, because I have more of a punky alternative kind of style, and I don't mind having like a strong androgynous brow or having a little bit of like a gender kind of play with my look, because it's just for me. But if I'm going to go on a red carpet and I want to look my best, I will use lighter products in my brows. Like a lot of the old makeup artists like Way Bandy used to bleach the brows before it became like a big thing in the last like few years for editorial purposes. All those magazine covers from the 70s and 80s and all those Avedon shoots, they had bleached brows. It just makes you look more feminine, really. Now, anyone that's ever had any experience with beard coverage, why do you not talk about this product? It's Estee Lauder Maximum Cover. It's kept behind the counter of most lauders, and they don't advertise it with double wear. It is like 3 times the pigment of double wear. So if you think double wear is thick, this is way too thick. It's like insane. It's actually developed for people that were going in surgery. It was to hide their scars without it actually affecting. It's got like a lot of soothing actually properties in this foundation, which is never spoken about, but it is like polyfill basically. And if you want something to cover your beard and to stay on for literally, I've worn this for over a 24-hour shoot before. Now I actually got, and I didn't really go into this in too much detail, I actually had some work done to my lower jaw. I've had my bite corrected by Narushka, who does my face, so she injected Botox in my chewing muscles, and then from then she then injected filler in this whole area of my face, which lifted up my mouth. I actually had a hole under my mouth, like here, which you probably don't even notice, but it made me look like the bottom corners of my mouth were always kind of like sad looking, if you will, and it has changed my whole movement when I talk. I've noticed it a lot when I've edited these videos. She's fantastic, I swear to God, she's such a genius for what she does without having to go through the route of surgery. So I'm going to go in with more of a bronzer. I'm going to be using Liquid Camo by Dermablend. Now I do love Dermablend, and Dermablend were kind enough actually to reach out with me after working with me and ask if they can use my tutorials in-house to teach their staff. So they're very sweet to me, and they have actually been very kind over the years by sending me all their products. But I do like their foundation. I just don't, I don't love the finish on my skin as much as I like the finish of Studio Fix Fluid. Because Studio Fix Fluid has that kind of powdery effect. This is more of a silicone effect, and I just like that diffusion that it gives you. But I do love the colours, because they do have this kind of like more of a bronzy, it's got more of an olivey undertone, if you will. I can't remember the colour. I think it's, what is it called? Cafe? It just is a really nice colour for me. I like it for a contour. So I'm going to be doing a video soon about Photoshop. Because I have been so busy actually over the last couple of months, because I set myself a challenge to really get into kind of re-energizing my love for doing YouTube. So I wanted to set myself a project, you know, I love my projects, and I thought, well, because my transformations are kind of iconic on YouTube now and they've done so well, that I should start a new series and just finish off the people I've kind of done already. So I've actually got to the point now where we've got like 40 of them. And I've got 4 that I don't know if I'm going to use or not, because I did give them exclusive rights to MTV, who I was going to be doing stuff over Halloween actually for, but I thought because Marie Claire asked me to do Game of Thrones, I'll give them something different, if you know what I'm saying. I don't want them all to have the same stuff at the same time, because I'll spread it out. So we have lots of pop stars. I've got a few of my favourite people that might be uncommon to you guys, and it's interesting to me because I actually really don't use Photoshop in terms of liquify or changing my face. I use Photoshop to clean up the background, and I use Photoshop more so to do what a lighting technician would do if I had the opportunity to have someone doing it. Like, for example, if I'm going to look up here, you see that there's a shadow on my nose that's not there. If someone was there looking at me, they would just move the light up and down, do you know what I'm saying? And it would give me the final effect, but I don't have that. So if, for example, I'm getting into character and I'm like, and I've got the face right, but the lighting's not right, I don't mind putting that lighting on top of it. I really don't think that that's changing much. I think that's exactly what a lighting technician would do if they were here. So that's very different from painting on a face on top of your own. That's just completely, what is the point of doing makeup if you're just going to do a digital artwork? You might as well just use face swap. So my favourite under eye concealer I've actually lost in transit. I left it on a job I was doing, and it's by Dermacolor, and Dermacolor are something that I definitely think is underrated on YouTube. They are a product made by Kryolan, and they're more of a prosthetic based kind of collection. Kryolan is more diverse, it's more well known, they do the TV sticks. Dermacolor's creams are actually more of a kind of finessed version of TV stick. They're much more malleable, they've got a little bit more formula, kind of like a slick to them, but they still set, and you can build up a full coverage in no time flat. It's incredible. They're like a more stable full coverage by MAC or Studio Finish concealer, and they do a colour that's just the perfect mix of peach and undertone, and it's perfect for my under eye circles for my colour. But I do not have it because I've left it on a job, so I'm waiting for the new one to arrive. So in the meantime, I'm going to be using IT Cosmetics in Light, which I love also. This concealer is very, very, very pigmented. The one thing I would say about this is make sure you have blended it smoothly out. If you use too much of a fine powder on top, it will grab and it can look a little bit cakey if you haven't just blended it enough. But it's not that hard to do. So I'll add all my affiliate links in the description for you guys to find. Just follow the instructions. So the under eye concealer is now done, and I do like to just add a little bit down the centre of my nose, but I don't like to add too much because I like to go in with powders and perfect that. So let's go in with my favourite powder, which is by Dermacolor. It is amazing. I've been using it on my channel since the start. It's in my kit. It's the best. Just make sure everything's set adequately for your environment. It's freezing in the UK, so don't go too crazy. So I'm going to be using Estée Lauder Double Wear in actually the shade, well, it's technically Ecro, but I don't know what the new, they've swapped all their Double Wear powder names over. I'm not sure which one's which. It's one of their pale neutral undertones, and I like the powder because it's golden. So the reason why I love this product is just because it is a hefty powder. What I mean by that is it definitely holds up. It's full coverage, if you will. This brush is actually by Morphe. They've sent me lots of new brushes and stuff, which I have just in front of me. I kind of go to products and brushes that I just have in front of me. I'm very resourceful because I don't come from this rich background where I've had everything to use. Like I remember when I started YouTube and PR companies wouldn't work with alternative people, LGBTQ bloggers, and you had to make do really with what you could find, and there wasn't that much on the market. Like there wasn't pale foundations in stores like you can find now. There wasn't big eyelashes in stores. In America you could get like eyelashes and things like that a little bit better, and there were obviously like theatrical shops, but if you're just a kid like looking for a foundation, it wasn't that easy to find. Right, now this is a new product that I think is more of an affordable product for you guys to follow along, and this is a contour shade in this NYX palette, and it is called, it just says contour. This is the LCA01 palette from NYX, and they sent me this and I wasn't really familiar with the brand, which I feel stupid about because I've seen so many of my friends actually win or get in the finals of the Face Awards. But I just don't have that much, I don't know, I'm just a little bit in my own bubble. Okay, so with my brows, I'm going to be using the exact same colour I used in my contour. So as you guys can probably tell, I'm really not into dramatic kind of graphic looks. If I'm doing makeup, I love. If I'm doing makeup that I want to kind of show off or do a particular design, I might take a little bit more time on the eyes, but I just love when people look like themselves, and I don't think that, not themselves, but like I don't like people to have like an illustration around the eye. I want to see what they're celebrating about themselves, if you will. And I just really do the most minimal to my eye makeup. I used to do so much to kind of create a crease, and you can see in a lot of my old videos that I used really kind of like clever cut crease tricks like gluing my eyes or using eyelid tape, but I just got them fixed, you know what I'm saying, then I don't have to do that. So I literally just use one colour sometimes, maybe two. I don't go too crazy with my eyebrows. I like them to look kind of editorial, but not too much. And I always remember like on America's Next Top Model, because I obviously grew up on America's Next Top Model because I'm such a big fan of Matthew Anderson. He was behind the scenes. Tyra used to always do, she used to say like she used to love doing a brown under her eye, just on her lower eyelid, and I kind of have that same eye structure, so I like to do that. Like, it's very strange to me because you can probably tell from this video, I really don't like trends, and when people start doing the same thing I kind of avoid it. And there's so many kind of like the boys in makeup at the moment that wear bright blue contacts that are like my real eyes, and they're doing the more kind of a bronzy look at the moment. I'm like, oh my god, I finally got comfortable with doing my like natural colours and my natural look, and I'm like, now all these hair fillers are like doing a similar kind of vibe because it's this big thing in America to be a boy in makeup, and I'm like, I need to come up with a new look at the moment. I'm trying to debate it. What can I do next? Definitely my favourite makeup artists are people that I'm actually personally friends with off of YouTube. Like one of my best friends is John McClane, and we've been friends for maybe, how long? 7 years maybe longer, I don't know. We've been friends for a while. We've been friends online, and then I went to stay with him in Scotland in his house there, and we have had crazy days on my birthday where I was on this tuk-tuk thing and I got on and the tuk-tuk pulled my wig off, quite literally. And all this crazy madness, and we've been been crazy. We're kind of like friends that are from a distance. We have a distance between our locations, so when we do see each other it's great, but then we have gaps in between when we don't. But he's amazing. I'm so glad that someone that I actually consider to be actually very talented is getting a good reaction online, because it's just been a kind of series of people that I don't necessarily think have a great skill set. Arabia is another one of my friends that I work with on Perfect Androgyny, who I haven't spoken to in a while, but I believe he just won the Face Awards in Saudi, and he's come such a long way, and he did this incredible painting of me when we first started talking in makeup, and I love his work. He's probably my favourite makeup artist on YouTube. Not saying something, he's just brilliant. I like his work. There's also a girl on Instagram that I really respect and like. I've never had any interaction with her actually, but she's called Luna, and I think her handle is Subtext Fantasy. I think she's been ripped off by a few people that have got a lot of shine. I think she's done a lot of really innovative looks that I've really appreciated, and she's the only one that I've seen that reminds me of the kind of style that I did when I started. It was all experimental and just colourful and having fun, and she's gorgeous, she takes good pictures, and I like her work a lot actually. I might have to reach out and say so. I live for these liners. They're pen liners. I get them on eBay. They're about $3. I don't know, you get 5. This just reminds me of being in Japan and grabbing all those really cheap bargains, all those amazing shops in Harajuku, and they're just great. I love pen eyeliners. They're just my go-to. In terms of mascaras, my favourite mascara without question is Max Factor 2000 calories. I don't actually have Max Factor 2000 calories. It was in my kit I left on my freaking last job. So I don't have my Dermacolor concealer and I don't have my mascara, so I do apologise for that. Because it was my personal makeup bag that I left there. It wasn't even anything in my kit. Ugh. Anyway, I'm going to be using IT Cosmetics because I love them. And they're fabulous mascara. Now with my lips, I tend to go with my moisturising gorgeous lip balm by BeeGood. It's raspberry and white chocolate, and I developed it and was my first product with my name on in stores across the country. You can grab that in my store as well below. I'm going to be using this gorgeous colour by Morphe, and it's called Vinyl. Is it Morphe or Morphe? I'm so out of the loop. So from this video you can probably tell that my kind of method with makeup I love is more about colour. I can pretty much work with anything, but I do want the skin to be fleeky, and if the skin is fleeky and kind of ethereal, if you will, that's good for me. I can use any product on the lips and the eyes, and I tend to go with colours that really complement my natural lip shape, lip colour, my eye colour, my eyebrow shape, and keep it as easy breezy as possible. It shouldn't be too enduring. You just have to have fun with it. I'm going to go over the top with NYX Lingerie, and this is just in a paler shade, like so. Now I have to finish with a plumping lip gloss. It's a signature. I'm really not about just overly matte lips, and I love teaming a plumping actual lip gloss with a liquid lip, because the more blood in your lips, the less dehydrated they will be. Okay, and here is the finished look. I've thrown on one of my favourite haircuts, which is super short, and I think you guys can probably tell I just don't like what you guys like. I know you guys want me to have the crazy graphic makeup, you want me to have the blonde hair all the time and to be all kind of, I don't know, generic. If you guys say you like something, I'll probably do the opposite. I just do my own thing. So this is a tutorial all about makeup I love, and I've used products I love, the way I love to use them, and you can find them all in the links below. So the way that SocialCommer actually works is if you check out all the products actually from my shop, you can actually click the link below and see how I've linked all my affiliate codes through, and there are so many opportunities to get discounts from 5 to 30%, and hopefully you guys can all see them. So check them out in the links below. They are actually brilliant for other influencers if you wanted to have a hub to put all your affiliate codes and so on. And I just want to shout out my wonderful friend Eddie has actually just been going through a few bits, and he gave me lots of his fabulous clothes because we've been friends for nearly 11 years, and just thought I'd do a tribute. Alright guys, well thank you, I hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned for the makeup I hate, because that's going to be a showcase, and I'll see you all very soon.